Hi everybody. How you doing today? Good, I hope. This is it. This is the week of our elections. Well, the beginning of the election returns, shall we say. Who knows how long they're going to take? And they should take a long time because we want every vote to be counted, right? Anyway, I was thinking about I think it was probably a tea towel that I saw years and years ago, and it always stuck with me. I don't think I ever owned it, although I might have, but we're talking, decades ago. And it had a saying on it, and it said, "Women are like tea bags. You never know how strong they are until they're in hot water." I would say that that's not just true of women, but of many men as well. And I'd like to say it's true of Christians as I know them, but I know it's not always true. And I'd like to say, however, that I think it is true about our nation. You never know how we're like tea bags. You never know how strong we are until we're in hot water. And one thing that I will say about this election growing out of this 4-year presidency, we have never seen a response and people stepping up to vote like we are now. It will be, I'm sure, and I'm recording this over the weekend on Sunday, November 1st, so 2 more days till Election Day, but I am certain that it will turn out to be the largest voter turnout in our nation's history. And what a wonderful thing that is. Many of us had been worried over the last couple of decades about the growing apathy among voters. Increasingly, we had smaller and smaller numbers of people turning out to vote because they thought that it just didn't matter, or they just didn't care, it wasn't going to affect them. And now, all of a sudden, we are seeing this huge voter turnout. And frankly, I don't care why. I'd like everybody to vote like I do, but that's not, going to happen ever. And so I just want us to be a robust and a healthy nation where people are invested. And I remember one time, and some of you watching may remember this, it must have been about 15 or 20 years ago, and I was working for a neighborhood preservation company here in southeast Rochester, and the city government was going to take away the ladder truck. There were ladders and there were middies, the smaller fire trucks. The ladder truck from one of the firehouses, the Alamo, the one at Monroe and Alexander, Alamo, firehouse. And that just struck me as so completely stupid, because this is the section of the city where you have the most of the museums, and where you have the business corridors along Monroe Avenue and others, where you have multiple story buildings with retail on the first floor and apartments above. And here they wanted to take away the ladder truck and put it someplace else. And so I mounted a letter writing campaign, and we did it through the 45 neighborhood associations in this part of the city. And I mean, thousands of letters went to City Hall saying this makes no sense and here's why, and whatever else. And of course they chose not to move them. And there's still a ladder and midi at the Alamo, the last I knew. Anyway, that ushered in a period when I became very, very close to the fire guys there at the firehouse. My daughter was little, and we went and celebrated a couple of birthdays there. I mean, nobody cooks like the fire guys, And there was one time I had a birthday cake, and they made me a birthday cake for me, and they put all these like little red fire guys on it. It was so great. It was, like toy soldiers, those kinds of figures, but they were all fire guys and gals. And so they put those on the cake. I mean, I hung out there a lot in those days. And I think what brought that about is that it empowered people, I mean, this is why I'm telling you the story. It empowered people in the Southeast, many of whom had never been empowered before. And I had several people come up to me and say, wow, I never realized that my letter, my voice could make a difference. And I think that that is exactly what's happening in this country. At least I pray it continues. You never know how strong we are until we're in hot water. So for those of you who are tea drinkers, as am I urge you to have a cup of tea and to celebrate the fact that we're in hot water right now. This nation's in hot water. Churches are in hot water. Some families with COVID were in hot water. We've got a lot of things going on, but you know, tastes mighty good when you get it nice and strong. And you never know how strong you're going to be until you're in hot water. Thanks for joining me today. That's the thought of something greater than we are. Put it in perspective. God is leading us through to show us our strength. Let's make sure it's resting on God and not on anything else that we create, okay? I'm Pastor Deb Swift of South Presbyterian Church in Rochester, New York, and you've been watching A Prayerful Pause with the Pastor. I look forward to seeing you back here next time. And until then, God bless, take care, vote, vote, vote. All right, bye for now.